Welcome back to Stray Trains. In a channel first and something that was almost inevitable, we have a video that will feature outside of the Victorian borders. In this video it's going to be a little bit of a different style one, a little bit of a running commentary of the highlights of Journey Beyond Rail's The Overland, which is a passenger service that runs twice a week in each direction from Melbourne to Adelaide. Hope you enjoy the video. In what will be the first part of a mini Adelaide train series, we start off at Southern Cross, where the Overland originates, and it even comes up on the passenger information displays as just another service, although this is not actually run by V-Line. The Overland operates on standard gauge rail, so if you take a look here about the two different rail sizes, it is the smaller of the two. Typically, Victorian passenger trains run on broad gauge track, which is slightly bigger than standard gauge. Everything from the day in this video is displayed in chronological order. We leave Southern Cross on time at 8:05 AM, past some locomotives and other V-Line trains in the yard, as we make our way onto the North Melbourne flyover. Now, because the rails in Victoria are predominantly broad gauge, in order to take a standard gauge route, we have to take a somewhat indirect route out of Victoria. This means we get to go all the way through South Dynon, where we see plenty of locomotives, many in service, and some that appear to be stored away, awaiting their near future. In particular, the AN class locomotive, which for a little while now have just been lying in this road here, banked up right next to each other, one by one by one. If anyone knows the future of these locomotives, please let me know in the comments below. I'm not quite sure myself, so I won't say anything on this matter. We promptly pass the Gunzel famous Bunbury Street tunnel. With the amount of locomotives that do pass here, it is a very famous spot for train spotting in regards to locomotives. This allows us to head under the suburb of Footscray and then return to the tracks next to the regional rail and the Sunbury line. And not far ahead is Tottenham Yard. Plenty of SSR locos are stabled here. That's Southern Short Haul Railroad. Their locos are stabled here, which appears at the time of filming not too much is around, although there appears to be an S-class coupled to an N-class, as well as two P-classes coupled to a T-class. Oh, and hello Comenge. We then say goodbye to the Sunbury and regional rail link lines as we get to ride over the Tottenham Triangle, which takes us to the Newport Sunshine dual gauge goods line. We then pass Spotswood UGL, which these NR locomotives are the exact same type of locomotive that is hauling the train we are on right now, which is the NR class, being NR2. As we pass Altona sidings, we say hello to the Werribee line and this Comenge passing by. For me personally, I've been on platform 1 and 2 and through it many times at Newport, but never on this dual gauge track beside the station, which was a rather interesting sight to see. Not the most picturesque, but it's a fairly unique sight nonetheless. For the next little while, we parallel the Werribee line. In fact, we go beyond Werribee all the way to meet up with the Geelong line. Throughout the trip, we passed many of these yellow-looking fields, which I thought was just so appeasing to the eye. I believe these are canola flowers from a little bit of research, although I'm not 100% sure, but there were just so many of these amongst the entire trip. We arrive at our first stop to pick up some passengers, North Shore, which is the stop for Geelong. This is because the line that we will take will junction off just before Geelong. Hello, Spirit of Tasmania. We now say goodbye to the Geelong line as we take a special line all the way to our next stop, Ararat Station. Upon departing Ararat Station, just a few moments later, we pass our first goods train for the trip, SCT's CSR 10 on 7922V. Hello Stall Station, this was our third stop on the trip. And I must say, probably excluding North Shore, all the other stations were very beautiful in their appearance. Plenty of old structure like we see here. Next up, Horsham Station. It's even got the Overland timetable there. We say hello to a few more locomotives, 2 ACD classes attached with G535 leading the way on 6 PM1. Once seen Horizon, we arrive into Dimboola to allow for a crew change. The loco did remain. And then, not long after departing Dimboola, we pass another goods train, Pacific National. 2 NR classes on 6 PM6. Now time for some more SSR locos to pass. We see 3 here idle. Then arriving into the final stop here in Victoria, Nil Station. Once again, another beautiful station. A cheeky V544 hiding. How about that for the first clip on this channel outside of the Victorian border? And the first station we see outside of the Victorian border, how fitting, the name of Border Town. And what I call the real welcome to South Australia. We cross the Murray River on this beautiful curve here. Of course, the next stop had to be fitting, Murray Bridge Station, the second final stop on this trip. Being August, it was the perfect time of the year to finish the last leg of the trip watching a beautiful sunset take place. And in my opinion, to go along with some beautiful nature in South Australia, it was the perfect combo to finish off this trip. Unlike Victoria, where metro services run on broad gauge rail.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever.
Making our first connection with the metro lines into Adelaide, we ride along the Bel Air line, which is what we see right here. Whilst we are on the Overland, passenger trains utilise this exact rail that we are on. And with that, we arrive into the Adelaide Parklands Terminal, the final stop of our trip. We're only 5 minutes late, arriving at exactly 6 PM Adelaide time. Keep in mind the 30 minutes difference between Adelaide and Melbourne. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this little different style of video, and maybe it might inspire you to try the Overland. I highly recommend it. It was a great day trip, plenty of beautiful sights, and it really didn't feel that long despite being a pretty much entire day trip. Thanks so much for watching, and I think we'll leave it at that. Cheers.